Everybody, and welcome back to another video of me doing a tier list, showing my opinions, and just overall having fun. For today's video, we'll be doing shite. We'll be doing philosophy dilemmas, more specifically, moral and thought dilemmas. As you can see, we have from existential crises to just having your life completely ruined to not caring about it at all. So let's begin. And first off, we have the self-driving car dilemma. For me, honestly, this is an uncomfortable tier because it asks us, like, when we create something that has to make moral decisions, how do we hold it accountable? Like it. Let's say, does it protect the passengers or does it kill the people on the road? Oh, by the way, I have to explain the dilemma first. This is about in a case where the self-driving car is carrying its passengers and it has to make the choice between saving the passengers or saving the ones on the road and like kill the other, what should it do and how do we like measure what we think about the car? And I think it's really uncomfortable to think about because robots or created consciousness, created life, how do we really give it responsibility? How do we hold it accountable? Where do we draw the line? So I think it's a really good thing. It's a pretty good to think about. Kant's axe murderer. From what I remember, I seriously do not care because the scenario goes like this: you and your friend are in a room. A murderer with an axe comes in. Your friend hides, and the murderer asks, "Where's your friend?" And since you are a deontologist, you think lying is wrong. So it's my moral obligation, no matter what, to tell the truth. But if you tell the truth, he dies. Your friend dies, and like from the original scenario, he doesn't threaten to kill you if you don't tell the truth. So I think this is like very easy. Like lying is maybe wrong, but that's such a like it can't be true all the time. Nothing can be true all the time. Like, are you just gonna like say, "Oh, I don't want to lie," and have your friend killed? I think that's very, very evil. And free speech dilemma, I think it's akin to an itchy sock. Like we say, from what I remember, like if everybody can talk about free speech, like if everybody can talk, the ones who don't want free speech can also talk. And while this is true, like the ones that don't really want free speech are usually just not very favorable as a whole, anyways. So we shouldn't be tolerable to non-tolerating things, like an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, for people who want that kind of understanding. Mandatory organ donation, meh. Like this kind of from the original scenario. I remember you're a doctor. Five patients with five different organ needs are dying, and you have one healthy patient that has all of the fitting organs. And do you, kill that person? Or in the other case, like you have the organs, and should you be donating your organs? And no, I don't think so. Like it will be very good if you did, like it will be serving the greater good, but it isn't mandatory. Like that, you could be a bad person, you could argue that you're a bad person for not sharing your organs, but the mandatory part is, well, this not correct, guys, because you or that patient who is healthy is not responsible for the other people dying. So it is not mandatory for them to save that person. The violinist, this is also again meh, because um, okay, the scenario goes like this: there's this famous violinist, and they have a fatal kidney disease or blood disease, and they kidnap you, and they use your body to clean their blood, so they can live, but and otherwise they will die. What I think here is that what they're doing, while questionable, is kind of necessary. You can't really blame them, but you don't really have to help them. Like you are not obligated to. What they're doing is evil, but it's sometimes necessary. You got to understand that. But the from the point that you wake up from the kidnapping, you have the right to leave and not help. So yeah, that's why it goes into meh, or maybe akin to an itchy sock, because you're not really forced to. It's your body. It's not your fault that they're having a blood failure, and you shouldn't be kidnapped to help them. But you have to also understand that point of view because that person is going to die, and saving a human life is kind of necessary. So, a necessary evil, if you ask me. And you should probably help that person. Okay, I'm moving this uncomfy because it's not. It's just, it has a lot of nuance. Security versus digital freedom. Again, very uncomfortable because digital platforms have so much potential for evil with sexual content, gore, leaking secretive information, cyberbullying, doxing. And on the other hand, you may be monitored if you get too secure. So the line where we draw evil and good on digital platforms, I think it's very hard to draw that line because where do you draw the line? Where does freedom begin and where does evil also start? So yeah, like what's the solution there? It definitely deserves uncomfortable. Veganism. To be fair, I'll put this into sleepless nights. Not vegetarianism. Honest, no, sorry, not veganism as a whole, but vegetarianism. Yes, because for veganism, you can obtain like animal products on a non-invasive way if you plan it right, like with the milk and with the eggs and such. Yeah, like you're still using the animals, but you gotta live too. You're also an animal, and that's the cycle of life. And if we can manage that right, we can get the animal products themselves. But for meat, personally, I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan, but think of it like this: they are alive, and they most likely feel things, and we kill them, breed them just on an incredible basis, and we use their blood, flesh, and everything they have. We just when you put that yourself into the perspective, like think of it like this: an higher race from space, like aliens, come and they treat us like chickens. We're cooked because, like, think about it, they don't really understand you and they don't really care about you, so they put you into cages and they just breed you to be better, more muscular, and they just use you. And it's kind of the same. And yeah, this is the yeah, should you be killing an animal to have food is a really good question. The trolley problem. The original trolley problem is just plain uncomfortable because it's just like, do you kill one person by not pulling the lever on a trolley, or do you kill five people by not pulling the lever, or do you pull the lever and kill one person? And it really depends on the context here because like, I guess if you have no other criteria, if you don't know anything else, you would pull the lever and like save more people, right? Like some people would argue like, you pull the lever so you're responsible for that person's death. No, I think you have a responsibility to at least think about the situation the moment that you're in it. So if you don't pull it, you're still killing people. So it's not that easy, if you ask me. Heinz dilemma. Personally, meh, because the Heinz dilemma goes like this. There's this Heinz person, and his wife is very ill, and the doctor has a medicine for it, and the only medicine in the world for it. But the doctor is charging like 10 times, 20 times what Heinz can pay. But if he doesn't get the medicine, his wife will die. So Heinz breaks into the pharmacy and steals the drug and cures his wife. And is he doing something wrong here? This comes from Lawrence Kohlberg, if I'm not mistaken, as a thought experiment, and it calculates your moral reasoning. For pre-conventional moral understandings, he will say he might get punished for it, and for conventional understandings, it's against the law. But I think saving a human life when it's possible, no matter the property, anything else, like human life, human well-being, the life keeping on is more important than anything else. So I think, yeah, he's not evil for doing it. He saved a life, so I don't care. And Pascal's wager. This really depends on your view of the world. Damn, I pronounced that wrong. This really depends on your view of the world. because Pascal's wager essentially says this: you lose nothing from believing in God, and you go to heaven. But if you don't believe in God, you go to hell. So, like, why would you risk it? Just believe in God. It's the most basic thing ever, he says. Well, since my views on soul, God, hell, and heaven are not that rigid, I kind of like find this a bit pragmatic, a bit cowardly. Uh, for me, it's akin to an itchy sock. Like, I don't think God is an infinitely forgiving God, if he's there, wouldn't just throw you into hell, or wouldn't, like, this goes into meh, honestly, because in almost all religions, if you don't believe in God out of your heart, and if you just believe out of fear of going to hell, it's not true faith anyway. So yeah, you just lose scenario. Roko's basilisk. Okay, hear me out. I don't care, because the Roko's basilisk scenario goes like this: the people are developing an AI, and this AI is aiming for the highest good of humanity possible. It will fix everything when it's developed fully, and it's asking for people to support it, people to help develop it, like humans, so that it is developed faster. But when it is developed, it says, those who have not helped me, do those who have not helped develop me, will suffer unimaginably. And I will help the ones that helped me. So, what do you do in this scenario? I think it's very, very easy, because on principle, Roko's basilisk, the AI, is supposed to aim for the highest good of humanity. So, torturing you is kind of going against this understanding of the world. And just help it out, I guess. Like, what do you lose here? I kind of don't understand people who suffer from this. Okay, keeping on. Experience machine. To me, not a care in the world, because, yeah, and this is just a simulation theory. Like, what if we are an experience machine and our life is a simulation? Dude. Okay, the last videos that we talked about, we talked about the nature of experience, the embodied existence. You are here now. You have a body, you have sensations, and you need to have a body. You need to have some sort of experience going on. And when you are inside of experience, it is yours to claim. Like, it shouldn't matter, because we are living, and this moment is definitely real because you are living inside of it. If you woke up from an experience machine, that's also fine. What you had here was real. When you wake up, your relationship to what you thought was real to here just changes. So it doesn't matter. As long as you are inside of existing, it will be real all the time. And when you wake up, your relationship to it just changes. So I think experience machine, do we have brain in, yeah, also here, these two, that don't really matter, because you just are here. For you, it is lived, and it doesn't really matter for anybody else. Lifeboat ethics. For me, this sleepless nights, because it's kind of like, think of it like this: you have a lifeboat, you're like 8 people, you're going to safety, and you see a group of survivors. And if you take them in, you may all die, but if you don't take them, they will definitely die. So, do you uh, risk saving everybody and just abandon them to their death? And or do you just keep going? This may seem easy. Like, I would probably keep going, but do you just abandon people? Should you risk it? Should you be risking something? Yeah. And big man on the bridge trolley problem. This goes right next to the original trolley problem, because I don't understand why people change their judgment. Like, it doesn't matter if you pull the lever and the train kills the one person, or if you push them on the bridge from the bridge, like, and you stop the trolley. Oh, by the way, the scenario is like, on the bridge, you have a very fat man, and you see a trolley that's coming to kill 5 people. Do you push the fat man out of the bridge to stop the trolley? This is pretty much the same thing, but in this one, it is much more personal, and you have to push the guy. So, but it's the same. It's essentially the same. There is no difference. It's just you take matters into your hands. That's it. That's it. Oh, prisoner's dilemma. Ah, this is the game theory. Okay, let's say you and your friend were caught committing a crime, and you're both being interrogated on separate rooms, and they say, if you snitch, you know, you will get a lesser sentence, but your friend will get a higher sentence. And they tell the same thing to your friend. But if you both don't snitch, um, you both get off free. But you have to believe in the other guy to not snitch on you, or otherwise you will be charged a lot of years. This is game practical game theory. I think akin to an itchy sock, because when you calculate the years, the logical choice for your own benefit is always telling the truth, just snitching on your friend. So yeah, like yeah, this is pretty much explained. So no worries. Human euthanasia, not a care in the world for me, because you know it may seem like a radical standpoint to allow people to kill themselves with medical assistance. But I think the right to die if you don't really want to live is the same as the right to live. And I think the right to die kind of affirms your life, because you could quit at any moment, but you don't, and you're still here. And okay, let's put this in math, because like it might some people may come to regret it later, but you would all of course like put a lot of criteria like mental health, all treatments tried, what happens next, what's their context, circumstance. So this deserves a nuance, but I think people should be just allowed to die. We shouldn't be putting them like into life on forcefully. And also, some people with immense terminal illness suffer so much, and they won't live anyways. Like terminal stage 4 cancer, the dude has a couple months to live, but he's suffering incredibly. So why do we keep this guy here? Just put him to, you know, put him to peace, bro. Anyway, the omelas dilemma. Okay, this for me is sleepless nights. And the omelas dilemma is from a story, if I don't remember it wrong. And it's like there's this city of omelas, and it is incredibly good. Everybody is happy, everything is beautiful. It's practically a utopia in every single sense, but except for one person, which is a kid locked away, suffering immensely. Do you walk away from the city, or do you keep in, like, stay there? And dude, it makes me ask. People are already suffering all the time, more than one kid, maybe even worse. So, what difference does this make? Just why do we care? Should we care about that kid? Because people are suffering anyways. So, what happens if one kid suffers all the time and there is this utopia? Am I being incredibly cruel here? And I think that's really that that put me into spiraling, honestly. Oh, damn it. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I don't remember these two. I'll have to check them out like in a second. Killing baby Hitler, not a care in the world, because okay, Hitler may have been a fascist leader, and his death will probably be better for a lot of people. But people need to understand it. Hitler didn't cause World War II. The Germans were already ready to do that, and if it wasn't for Hitler, it was going to be somebody else. But the thought experiment here is that do you go back in time to kill someone in an innocent state that you know will be doing great evil? And in that sense, yes, killing a baby criminal is very arguable, but specifically for Hitler, it won't change anything. So whether you kill baby Hitler or not, there is probably most likely going to be a fascist leader creating something similar to the Nazi Germany. Reality TV dilemma. akin to an itchy sock, and it's kind of like on reality TV. You're being constantly judged, constantly observed, and pressured into doing something. Do you do what they tell you to, or do you keep true to yourself and like risk being humiliated or losing the competition? And well, if you just go into it, depends on what you're doing though. But I think you should stick to your, you know, your own ethics. If you ask me. Okay, I paused the video to check on these two, and going on with the doctor's dilemma. Um, Honestly, for me, I'm spiraling into this because this is the scenario. You have a medicine, and you have like five different patients, let's say, and you have one medicine, and you have to save one of them, and the rest will die. How do you choose? Do you choose according to your intuition? Do you go with random chance, or do you pick somebody that you find more suitable, or do you go with someone that will serve society better? And I don't know why this is like very uncomfortable to me, but it's just how do I choose, and how do I know what did the others do wrong? That how do I compare a human life to each other, and do I just leave it to chance? And is that, you know, a valid way of picking people? Well, honestly, yeah. Uh, I just I would be very troubled if I was in the place of that doctor. And last but not least, we have the whale of ignorance. And the thought experiment is that you will design a society from scratch, from like its ethnic groups, its society, its rules, its economy, its buildings, its like its entire structure. You will start from scratch. But you have absolutely zero idea what your place in that society is. Not your gender, not your ethnicity, not your job, not your society. You don't know anything about your place, but you will design the society. And when you think about it, um, you you will design a fair society, right? To increase your chances. But you could also like design an unfair society with the rich and the poor, and just hope that you are rich. So it gives us a lot of, things to think about. Because if you put anybody, like if you could put Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk in this scenario, they will probably create a fair society, right? Because they wouldn't want to risk what's going to happen to them. So it kind of makes us realize how unfair systems are, just because people know their place in that, and it comes from history. So if we didn't know what was going to happen to us, we would be advocating for equality and justice a whole lot more. So I guess it's meh, because it's certainly something to think about. And with that, our list ends. As you can see, nothing ruined our life. Thank God, because um, mostly because the brain and vat and experience machine gave me existential crises like back a couple years ago. But when I read phenomenology, I came to realize that, dude, you need to have sensations, you need to have a body, you need to have a life first in something, doesn't matter what, to live first, and you are inside of it, so it doesn't really matter. When like did you know that we use biological living tissue, to generate brain-like structures and use them as AI, and they think they're butterflies? And some may have existential crises from these, but I think it doesn't really matter. They think they're a butterfly, and for them, that brain tissue, it's real. Like as long as it's there, it'll be real for it, and there is no other reality for its own living. So if we just wake up from a simulation one day, it'll be fine, guys. Don't worry. As long as you're here, it doesn't matter. You are living now, and this is real to you no matter what. You may be in a dream, you may be in a coma, you may be dying, and this may be a memory thing or whatever. But it is real to you and it is being experienced. So live your life. Don't worry. It's not that bad. Trust me. At least, well, that's what I think. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you had fun. I hope this has helped you think about a lot of these. These are my personal opinions, by the way. You may disagree with a lot of the things. And please do so. And please comment if you think otherwise, or if you think that I missed some points. Feel free to comment on them. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.